Then the movie plays this game for a minute, and the game is she actually dealing with some psychological issues from dealing with the trauma of being stalked? Is she actually having a mental breakdown? Hello and welcome to an episode of Blockbuster Review. If you don't know what that is, it is where I play a single game of Tetris Marathon and try to review a film before the blocks reach the top or until 150 lines. Spoilers are at line 50, and when we say go, we start. So, the movie Unsane, I believe it came out in 2018, I believe that's the year. I found out through research and the opening credits that it was directed by Steven Soderbergh. I want to make sure that's correct before I just say it. Steven Soderbergh. It's a very claustrophobic movie. It's a very, very, muted movie. It's shot intentionally very odd and very cheaply, I would say, but in a perfect way to convey the right feeling. So it's about this character, Sawyer Valentini, who is a female named Sawyer, who is a career woman. I forgot what city this takes place in. I know that she left Boston. Is it like Philadelphia? I cannot remember. But she's starting out in a new job at a new place. She seems to kind of have her shit together. She does have a moment in the beginning where she has a very weird date Tinder situation where it seems like she just kind of wants to hoe a bit. Which, you know, hoe life, if you want to have it, just make sure you're safe and don't hurt anybody. But then she backs off and kind of has a weird, which, I mean, is her right. She doesn't owe a man anything after telling him she's going to bone him. But it's a very odd situation. It's a very weird thing. From the top, it turns out that she has had to deal with a stalker back in Boston. It got so serious that she went to a support group and went to see a specialist. During the consultation with that specialist, she mentions that she had thoughts of suicide, thoughts of hurting herself. So then the specialist commits her to 24 hours observation. She does this kind of in a sneaky bullshit way by having her sign some paperwork that she says, it's just boilerplate. It's just, it's just some normal stuff. And then it turned out it was signing her to being observed for 24 straight hours. While in this facility, she obviously gets upset. She thought she was tricked. She then has a altercation with one of the orderlies because the orderly looked similar to the dude that she was being stalked by. So then the movie plays this game for a minute, and the game is she actually dealing with some psychological issues from dealing with the trauma of being stalked? Is she actually having a mental breakdown? Because she then starts seeing her stalker at her work. He's going by a different name, but she swears it's him. She swears that she sees him plain as day, and they don't believe her because she's been acting erratically. And every time she has a meeting with someone, they're like, "Yeah, but you are, acting up and become a danger to the staff." She meets a gentleman named Nate, who is played by Jay Farrow, which was kind of nuts because I saw the name in the credits and I was like, Jay Farrow? Like, for real? And it was Jay Farrow, and he did a pretty kick-ass job in the movie. Juno Temple is also in the film. She does a great job as another patient that needs care, and she gets closer to this Nate character. He has a cell phone, so she calls her mother. Her mother's trying to be an advocate for her on the outside, and then the movie turns to let you know, yeah, her stalker's in there. And he has convinced this crew that he's actually this other guy. So now they will not believe her, but he is that guy, and he reveals his hand a little bit. And he also just murdered a different dude to take his identity, and also has no problem murdering Nate when he gets a little jelly. He gets a little jelly that Nate's talking to his boo in the yard, man. It's it's a very claustrophobic movie. I think I've already said that. It's very anxious. I'd say anxious because a whole lot is out of control for this character, even though she seems to have her shit together. It's like she's sitting there going like, what do you mean? Obviously I'm not crazy. And they're like, yeah, but you're acting out. On paper, she has a problem, but something else is happening. And then we have to then ask ourselves, is she losing it a little bit here? Is she losing it because of the trauma and the situation of powerlessness? And it turns out, no, she's not losing it. Just like she's having the absolute worst week possible. And then when she meets a friend inside, her stalker then murders him. It all resolves in a very, very interesting way where she tricks her stalker, who has gamed the system by using this pretty shady center for mental health, who's like straight up using people for insurance money. They figured that out early, which can make someone upset. And then after Jay Farrow's character Nate dies, it then turns out he was actually a reporter, and he went in to discover what was going on in this facility, and he had all the deets. And when, you know, shit basically goes down for everybody, but at the time, this stalker had gamed the system to keep her in a padded cell that nobody knows is being used by her, and according to all the records, she's not even in the building. So he's got her right where he wants her. And she slowly talks her way into getting out of his clutches for a second, but it's a horror movie, so he's got to catch back up with her. He has a moment with her out in the woods. She finds out that he murdered her mother. She also watched him murder one of her fellow inmates. It's not nice to say inmates, but they treat it like a prison. That's the other thing that this movie kind of does. It highlights that the mental health care system, especially if it's being abused, is pretty horrifying, because it's making a business off of the mentally ill. And whether that's someone who just needs somebody to talk to, like in Sawyer's case, or people that are severely mentally disturbed that really need a support system for them to be successful, like the corporation that exists to house these people is only looking for one thing, and that is, how do we make money off of those people's existence? And it only makes it worse when they then don't, in this movie. I'm not saying this happened in real life, but this, whoa. I might get out of here. Oh, bad. Oh, man. But when they don't do their job to protect their people, and then it turns out, oh, we were just infiltrated by a crazy stalker that murders a bunch of people, it's even worse. You know what I mean? It's even a worse situation. I don't feel like I've explained this movie well enough, or even my thoughts on it. I thought it was good. It's currently on Hulu right now. If you got Hulus, you could watch it. Have yourself a good one. Peace!